Yeah. Alrighty. I'm back. I don't know what just happened a while ago because everything else did I work. My other phone at work, my computer at work, the TV at work. I don't know what happened. I figure more or less anytime I use my ring lights in the outlet there, it always gives some trouble. I feel is that. Like it overload. Mm-hmm. Like it overload. Yeah. Like it get overloaded. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened. You love my living room? I'm DP. You like my living room? You like my new living room? I don't know what happened. I just feel like anytime I plug in my ring light. The same time I plug in my ring light. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put back my topic. It always give trouble. So what is gone? Oh. Good night again, people. Good night again, people. Good night. Young pumpkin, dress up yourself. Good night. I was up a while ago, but then um I had was to start over. So welcome back. Mature conversation. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What was the topic again? Hmm, never remember. Oh, whoopee. As parents, do we treat our girls different from our boys? Yeah, I think that's what it was. We said something about mothers and daughters, eh? One sec there. Mm-hmm. All right, then you guys have my full attention now. All right, all right, all right, all right. Me can't bother do no more um share out, you know. Me just I do one share out to Facebook and that's it. That is it. Yes, people. Good afternoon again. Good morning. Good evening. Welcome to Mature Conversation. So time gone? 16 past 9. Mm-hmm. 16 past 9. No soul. No soul food for me. No soul food for me tonight. The night when I might want to go. Him say work was so stressful. It needs something to ease it. But the girl are not going anywhere, my love. The girl here stay put tonight. So. Yes, my love. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. So you said then area. Audio sound low. Me don't even know what I go on. And it turn up. I must YouTube with the audio something because my phone is up. Because I don't know if audio. I don't know if audio in a farmer settings. In a farmer settings. If you say turn up and down in a YouTube. I don't know of that. You know have audio to say, you know, turn up and down or so. Just standard. Me still sound low. Me sound low. Still. DP, can you hear me? DP, can you hear me? Probably I swipe on a few lives and they're loud. I come back to yours and it's low. I don't know. They must have microphone. Yeah. Me need to get some equipment. Me need to change up the thing and get some equipment, you know? Where me can talk loud. With the volume up and running. Yeah. I don't know. The volume up and running. So you say, Denary, there's a thing with something about mothers and daughters, but I thought it was something about fathers and the daughters. Yeah, it was not always like that, like fathers and the daughters. It's not always about, fathers and the daughters. I don't know. Can you hear me good? Don't it, DP? You're hearing me good, right? Oh. Yeah. Probably, and you turn up here something, right? Me don't know. Me don't know what. Me don't know what. Denary. Yeah, it's normally about mothers and their son. And that's a narrative out there. Fathers and their daughters. So, because me can't relate to it, I remember some of them grew up with no daddy. So, me can't relate to that. But that's what I heard. That's what I heard, fathers and their daughters, mothers and their son. But, so when you say you and your daughter, is a totally different thing. But do you treat them differently in the sense, all right, then, say sometimes parents might make, boys get away with certain things, Okay. So, what you think, DP? What you think? What you think about what Daenerys said a while ago? She said she believes mothers and daughters are like oil and water. Mothers and daughters are like oil and water. Good night in people in the back. I like oil and water. Yeah, you have some mothers, and the daughters, they can have codependent relationship, yeah. And them have sons too. Maybe because they are too much alike in character. Okay. But things we make our son. What are some of the things that we make our daughter or sons get away with? And we don't make our daughters get away with it. And we make our daughters get away with things. And we don't make our son get away with the same thing. Because, we kind of have this little thing, even with little girlfriend and boyfriend thing. Little girlfriend and boyfriend thing, You might see a son have a little girlfriend, I'm a 14-year-old, I'm a 13-year-old, you just laugh it off and say, yes, I'm little girlfriend and that. But some people might see them little 14-year-old that with a boyfriend and them not having it. They're not having it, yeah. And they're not having it. And yeah. Because, all kind of things coming in your brain. All kind of things coming in your brain when it comes to your daughter. All kind of things coming in your brain when it comes to your daughter. Me don't know. Me not seeing that or one tick. I one tick. Me see if I nurse or something. One tick. Yeah. So like one nice reason. Give me some reasoning, no? Give you some reason how you do the thing. Hmm? How you do the thing. You will let your son, you know, you giggle your teeth when you see your son with a girl or whatever. How you treat the situation. And as you know, women, no matter the relationship to each other, tend to have some sort of discord with each other. And as women, yeah. Mm-hmm. Want to hear from you in a derby. DP. Want to hear from you. You have so much name, but they don't know which one for call you. But guess what now, then, Harry? You see, me always say, like, you know, when a mother have, you know, like one daughter, like one child, especially a daughter. She had a daughter with very, very close if she have one child. You understand? But if she have one child and is a son, is a boy, you know, yes, she and her son are close or whatever, but you know, them not so clingy. Them not have the codependent relationship. You know, when them younger, when them smaller, I think. But you know, boys, girls, me always hear them say girls, you know, like cling to them father more. I mean, probably daddy might make you get away with stuff or what. But probably, you know, probably as they get old, like change, I don't know. Because, you know, never get no son. Will respond. So bear with me with the typing. I want you type slow. You type slow like me. But I always say, you know, the things we make our sons get away with, especially when it comes to girl stuff. Yeah, especially when it comes to girl stuff. The things we make, we let them get away with, you know. What kind of, you know, cloak up with girls. You know, some parents don't like, you know, school the children about, school the boys about girl stuff, you know. You know, tell them say, you know, because we don't tell our son say abstinence makes sense. We will tell we daughter that say abstinence makes sense. And we will not tell we son say abstinence makes sense. You understand? Yes, so most fathers are so we do, we say use a condom. Yeah, we tell the boys that. But to tell the girls them don't do it none at all. Abstinence makes sense. You understand? My eldest son very close with his mom. But my baby son and I are close along with the two girls. Okay. Also, your eldest son kind of closer to his mom. Probably him kind of little have a different mindset. Yeah. Because sometimes some kids have a different mindset, and you know, sometimes when time parents divorce and them something, they have some kids choose. Them choose them parents and pick a side. Yeah, some kids do that, you know. Yeah, some kids pick a side. They know them still love you and whatever. But they will pick a side sometime. You know? Depends how them, you know, where the conversation depends on what. That one might do a lot of explaining why, you know, and you know, and then the other one might just, you know, leave it alone. And sometimes, you know, them just pick a side. Yeah, sometimes them pick a side. Yeah, kids do that. You know, might take up for mommy, some might take up for daddy. Yeah, that's daddy, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it goes sometime. I wish I had grew up with a dad there. Yeah, I wish. I wish I had grew up with that dad. Because, you know, a little feelings there. My son, the baby, is 21, and he's going through the nervous stage of his life. And I do allow him to do his thing. But I do caution him also. Alright, then you notice, you know, some teeth. Listen to the conversation. My baby son is 21 and he's going through the derby situation. Do you know what the derby situation is? The father was very promiscuous. Yes, the father was very promiscuous. You understand? Yeah. And the father used to go out himself and do the thing. You people over here from night to night and hear the stories. You understand? I hear the stories. And now, him have a son who take off of him. You see the teeth grin? Him have a son who take off him, right? And through the son take off of him, all him do now, I just, you know, caution him. But him say at the nervous stage, him a go through. And him just allow him to do his thing, but do caution him also. You understand what I say? Guess what? Like father, like son, blood follow vein. You know him on a jacket. So you see the same thing when we are talking about what you see back in the teeth. You see the same thing when we are talking about if I was your daughter, I do her thing, you think you don't want your daughter, you don't want your daughter promiscuous, you know. You don't want that, you know. You could have want lock her away, you could have want send her go to one boot camp, one private school, you know, where them lock them in. You could have want to try all different kind of measures. You understand? But no. You say, I'm a son, make the boy go out, go and do him thing, and some did stay, make the boy do him thing. You understand? So you see, some of us do treat boys different from girls. Yes, you have to treat them different from girls, but with what and what, you understand? It is because if the daughter gets pregnant, the baby will become your responsibility also, as opposed to the son who's me not even know where BM stand for, but we figure it out. We tell them all while so they use initial with me, you know. But as for the son, when I say baby mother, a baby mother, I say will most likely be the one. Yeah, baby mother, yeah. Yeah, me say baby mother before you write it. Yes, me get that one there. But this baby mother will most likely be the one bearing the physical responsibility. Alright then, so you see it, we fret about with daughter. But we don't fret about with son because to that. You understand? We don't tell him to put on a rubber. Because and not only the responsibility of your daughter having a child, but we still don't want them get pregnant before time. And sometimes we feel good to know that, yes, we son have a girl. You say, yes, at least, yeah, a girl in my have. Because I remember, say, you know, the same-sex things kind of very common, you know. And not that I have anything against people who are same-sex, you know, not my business. But me just I say, at the end of the day, most of us still not want it. You understand? Down the line, if it happen, and we can't do nothing about it, we might accept it because we love the child. We don't accept the baby, but we just, you know, allow the mother make it bad way. But at the end of the day, we still feel good. Most of us still feel good who have sons to say, yes. Me feel good for no say yes. Him have a girlfriend. Other way they might do. He might do girl. You understand? You make you take you say alright then. That's a relief. Not that it was a problem, but you know you just still would like to know, and that's just the plain truth. You understand? You just still would feel good for no say, yeah. You know? Him have a girlfriend. And so. You still feel good. Still feel good for no say. Yeah, you still feel good for no say, yes, him have a girlfriend. You understand? And so, but me I say, but how we feel though sometimes, you know, with daughters. We have daughters, you know. And just because we say abstinence makes sense and all of that, we not even know so we don't have one girlfriend. Yeah. You remember the clip we did listen to one night with a girl? I bring in our girlfriend for sleep in our mother, for live in our mother house, one move her in. My mother had to talk her out tight and I say, you know, if she not gonna want grandkids, she want grandkids and them something then she don't want it in her house and why don't she take her to her, you know, go to her house or whatever. And she making her mother look like, you know, she hard and not giving her a break. But we just said that to say, you know, right under our nose, we can have a daughter. And because we say abstinence makes sense, we don't even realize that they have a girlfriend. We don't realize. But we more wonder about the boys. I say, oh, I'm going to see you with a girlfriend. You know, but mothers always know, you know. Mothers always know. Mothers always know. Yeah. Always. Good morning, Raymond. I had read World Talk with my girls because their mom. I had Real Talk, hear my World Talk. I want to make. I have my glasses now. I had Real Talk with my girls because their mom started having kids at 18, so I was transparent in how I talk to them. Okay. Yeah, if you have real talk with the kids, with the girls, with the kids, them a matter of fact, you know. Yeah, if you have real talk with them, because when my girls were growing up and thing, I never used to do that little, you know, like say you don't talk to your kids them, you know, like you say yes them too young or them not gonna understand. No, me to talk to them real. I mean to tell my kids them about, you know, abstinence makes sense at certain age and whatever, because as Daenerys said earlier, you know, you don't want the baby situation. You understand? Yeah. You don't really want the baby situation. How would you handle it if one of your daughters told you she was attracted to the same gender? Why? I don't know, you know, because guess what? You see that something, you know? Me tell you, with the type of person he is. Deep down, you're going to say, you know, you wouldn't want that because, you know, you want to have you want to have grandkids and whatever, but at the end of the day, what you going to do? Me, no, you know, me, I going to love my daughter nonetheless, you know. Me, I going to love my daughter nonetheless. Naturally, it might, you know, surprise you. You know, you might feel a little weird, depends on how you look at it. I'm not homophobic, you understand? But I think me not just love it. Because me tell how me look on life, me tell myself, say, you know, you're adult, and you're dating. Me don't know, what can I do? You understand? What can I do? Me can't do nothing. Other thing me can't do. If me not like it, me can't pray about it. But then, you know, me just think people, it's in a people head and I saw them mindsets there and I saw them bad. I just might believe that, you understand? And I don't know me that do. I just live and happy same way and I don't know. You can't do nothing about it. But then at the end of the day, you know, you just never exactly know how you would react until you reach that bridge across it. You understand? But I don't think in this era here that we are living, in this time that we are living, I don't think I would make an outburst. You understand? Maybe if I had a son you know, me that feel a little weird because, you know, me wanna want that. So you see what I tell you, say? The difference, boy and girl, like it's a difference, yeah. But eventually, me just have to suck it up and move on, my love. But me know literally, personally, say me not eat my pitney. Me know me not go eat my pitney, whether my son or my daughter, if me did have a son. Because of that, me know literally say me not eat them, me not ask nobody, me know that. Yeah, me not disown them neither. We know that. You understand? Yeah. Because me not have two pitney and dash me one. For what? You mad? I end up with one. I'd be a bit disappointed. Yes, a little disappointed. But I'd quickly accept her decision and it would be a complete struggle if it were my son. Alright. That's exactly what I just said. Different words too. Yeah. Be a little bit disappointed if I your son yet. But you know, the son part would be a little struggle. You understand? Would be a little struggle. Maybe yes. Give me time to absorb it without your partner around. You understand? Give me time to absorb it without your partner around. You know? And you know, gradually, you know? And it is really biased for true. Because probably would I accept with that too. Even quicker than the son for true. And then guess what? Probably when you meet them partner, they would maybe so nice and sweet. You know? You don't even, you know, remember that. You know, because I'm like you in them bedroom, you know, just no matter make your imagination run wild with you. That's all. I move on and get on with life. Because we are going to do about it. Eh? And not your fault. Some girls are more tomboys without losing their femininity. Nadine, hi, good night. She's 35 and no kids. And I asked her recently if she will have kids. And she said, sure. I doubt it until I see her pregnant. And then guess what? Probably, let me tell you something. Probably some people are late birth, you know. Are later on in her life. Well, let's say she's 35. That little late-ish, yes. But probably she not ready yet. So all you know say, probably you never know. She supposed to have a struggle, you know, infertility problem. Supposed to have a struggle getting pregnant. You just never know. You know, you never talk about that like, you know, if it's okay. Because some people not so, you know, fertile like some people, you know. Some people as them blow them nose, them pregnant, them have to be very, very careful, you know. Mm-hmm. All of that too. Yeah. You have a deep conversation with her. Yes, you can go ahead with your question as long as it has to do with the topic at hand here. Yeah. No personal question. It have to do with the topic. You look like you are wanting. Okay, every minute you press the same thing. So if we see one more from you, you know you have got time out. We say I said feed. I don't you alone. Look at the title and you will see the topic. Look at the title. As parents, do we treat our boys different from our girls? Yeah, so Dervy probably she, probably, probably she get in there, And some people, some kids don't want children too. Some kids don't want children. Because one of my daughter too, you know. Me don't know, me ask her, but at the end of the day, she still have to have the right partner. I don't want she just have a child, just to have a child. I want her to, have the right partner, and, can, because, we want buying up and curse this baby mother, baby father curse thing. Baby mother, baby father thing. We want curse that's something that as Jamaican women may talk about. I not say that in other countries, but we are talking about our Jamaican women. If you throw 20 women right here, so probably all probably all 5 of them still, and then baby father married are still together as common law wife or boyfriend or girlfriend same way, baby mother, baby father same way. You understand? It no, we don't want that for our kids them. You understand? So one no say yes. Alright then Denary, deal with him. Deal with him. Deal with William. Deal with William. William need to time out. William has spam the chat. I have a friend that is 56 that has no kids. And when I asked her why, she said she was afraid of birth pain. Wow, afraid of birth pain. Then she not could get cesarean then, but then she have a feel only for pain after, but not for long, probably for the next year, so just right after the surgery. But me did afraid of birth pain. Yeah, me did afraid of, but she never have birth pain yet, so she afraid of something, but she never have it. She hear about it. Me did afraid for have baby, because me did dead in the room that I see the people them have baby, and the people, woman have scream and sitting. Me did afraid. I tell her lie, I'm afraid of pain, I'm afraid of pain, but it's a very nice, thing to have a child, Yeah, it's a very nice thing to have a child, because I remember when I gave birth and, them bring my 2 beautiful girls up in front of me, and it felt good. Yes, it felt good. You say yes. You feel like you have something now to be responsible for, someone to be responsible for, to care for, to love, to secure, you understand? To nurture. You see me I say? Yeah, it feel good. So, I have to tell myself, say, the pain up, but, I cross the bridge when I reach it. Yeah, I cross the bridge when I reach it. Because me did afraid. Me I feel pain and take Panadol. Yeah, right in the hospital when I tell the doctor with my stupid self. I take Panadol. Really afraid for have baby. What you mean? I did ask her about C-section. She's currently a maternity nurse. Yeah, that message she could have take C-section and, then give her some transiting for pain or whatever. So she working a baby and birthing, so she know all about the pain. I see the people them face and see how they cry. I pray to have cesarean too, and my wish came true. Say that me did pray for too. Jeez, I'm crying. Me just say me want to have cesarean. Me just want to get the cut because me don't want to push out the baby. Yeah, me never want to push out the baby. Me not lie. Me never want to push out 2 rotted pitney. The way I'm afraid. Jeez, I'm crying. I'm afraid of the pain. So till, and guess what? Right in the middle of having baby. right in the middle. They had what to give me an emergency cut because the two girl them put them head together and say, let's stay them. Me a come out today and I left me in here. The other one say, yeah, me a come do. Say, two away I forgot about something, mommy. Yeah. The two of them say them a come, my love. So I saw me that forget. Cesarean. So me that forget cesarean, my love. Same way, so. Me that forget it. So me that forget it because but then me said to myself, say, oh my God. Me said to myself, say, oh my God. Me sorry now. Me sorry. Because the after pain, you know, I couldn't take it. I couldn't cough. I couldn't go up on the bed when I was in the hospital. I couldn't go up on the bed because I can't lift up my foot. Everything you do, you feel the pain, you feel the cut. Jeez, I never like that part there. You know them keep me in the hospital. Them keep me in the hospital because because them say me have to walk up straight. I mean, I walk and bend. Them say me will heel bend. They're not coming out until I walk straight up. And then I always cold. And through my cold, and when the doctor come and them test me or something, with my temperature always not right. You know, me have to do one trick. I'm going to put out one whole heap of something plus one dust or something. I'm going to stand up because I have a sun on the balcony. I'm going to stand up this up on the balcony and sweat. Sweat out myself. Yeah. And then when the doctor reached my bed, me just go. I know she called me and asked me that. If you did want me come, you ask me a long time. One second, the people. My friend just called me for soul food. She should called me a long time. She was never sure. You called me 7 minutes to 10. I might do well one guy, so I three car now drive. Me to the cesarean was enough pain for me. Yeah man, I only for pain man, cesarean. Get a lot of pain. I had an emergency cesarean too with my first. My son because he was in breech position and wouldn't turn. He must sit fast asleep then Harry and can't bother move. I was present at the birthing of three of my 4 kids. Another different aspect for females from that day. Not that I didn't have aspect for women, but the birthing was off the chart. Yeah man. Miss me get to see it right hand to me get to see it man. Get to see it off hand to man. See it one time. I never know say I saw the baby just slip up. The baby just come out. And them just uses the guards sitting on fast, 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 and needle and nylon thread sitting and so them a soap woman, zoop, 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 sew you up right now. She, me say, oh my God, she's mm, that make me even worse. That make me even scared worse. Yeah. That put me in a one something. Oh, jeez, I'm crying. Me not think they are, man. Me no. I forgot rush you now for get ready and then sitting there and whatever. Can't bother. Me don't have nothing in mind for put on and I don't know. Can't bother. I don't know. Janet Johnson, good night, Nats. I don't know, me never that think about it. I might didn't want to go. Me never I don't know. Me just never that think about it. Me need crepe up on them sitting there and when me I go wear a shirt and me can't bother show my crepe up. Can't bother. Good night, Nats. How you doing, Jeanette? When in doubt, wear black. Me tell you now with me and wearing clothes. Me can't just rush and go put on something. Me have to feel when me I wear. Me have to feel it, me have to feel comfortable. Me have to put it on, look at the mirror, accessorize it, which one of my wig me I go put on. You understand? Me not just drag on clothes and go about my business. So not care nice the clothes look. Me have to feel the color. Remember say you feel color according to your mood, but you never realize, you know. Me have to feel when me I wear. I want comfortable, I don't want rush. Yes, I will rush and put on something, but then I don't have the mindset for wear that already. I know, so me I go. But because I don't know, you understand? Yeah. So, yeah. Every day, me never know what kind of black for wear. Remember, so I can't repeat, you know. Not when I wear for the sign. I have to wear something different. So the topic, Nats and Jeanette. As parents, do we treat our girls different from our boys? You know, we worry about our girls getting pregnant. We don't worry about our sons getting another young lady pregnant sometimes. You know? Yes, we might tell them protect themselves. But what are some of the special treatments? What are some of the things you tell your girls? You know, we protect our girls more than our boys and just allow boys to just do the thing, just do the do. Hmm? Yes, Derby.
You know, so Julie have such a Julie have such an interesting conversation. I promise you I won't be long, but because we can't type some of the stuff, I would like to say it here
Yeah, then we not do that
because
something there too.
I
Pauline, I say what you
yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah. So, but I find the conversation so enlightening because let me tell you, I personally, I am guilty of I would say in a manner of sheltering my girls when they were growing up. As teenagers, I remember one time I said to girls, I said, "You know, but I go breathe." And then the second one, like Canadian born, you know, them different. I said, "Dad, what does that mean?" So, but because you know the house you have to have fatwa and stuff. But I know all the time that we hear me say that, and they said, as in getting pregnant, and she said, "Oh my God, oh that you don't have to worry about that." So I remember one day my eldest, because my kids are 4 years apart. Four of them, they're 4 years apart because I'm not the type that believe in a big family at the time. My wife wanted more kids, my ex-wife, but she wanted like kids, like, because she's from a big family, right? Big, as in siblings, 10 of them. So anyway,
10 of them she
my
didn't
eldest
want?
daughter, no, her siblings.
Oh.
Yeah, my wife would have had, my ex wanted like 8 kids or somewhere in that ballpark. She told me that straight. She said she wanted like 8 kids. I'm saying, what's in mad? But yeah, seriously, that's what she said to me. So anyway, my eldest said to me one day, she said, "Dad, what if I was to get pregnant as a teenager?" And as I said, my eldest daughter with my ex, she wear only boxers, so I was kind of bit naive, I question her sexuality. So I said to her, why do you think I wouldn't pick you guys out to say, oh, because Jamaican parents, they're serious about teenage pregnancy. So I said, well, your mom had you at 18, and I mean, so it's not like, I would pick you out and stuff like that. So that bond between me and the girls was always there. I was the type of dad that I was very transparent with them regarding, and they were being taught things at school too, because I remember one time the second one, when she was about 13, she brought home a picture of I don't know if I don't want to say it on YouTube, but of a male's organ, per private organ that the parents, as parents, we had to sign it because it was a part of their sex ed class, right? I guess I can say sex because I'm not swearing, right? So as parents, I had to sign it. So I remember I made fun of it. So when she brought it to me, I said, "Dad, we have sex ed class." And I just like this. So when I was talking to my ex at the time, she was sitting at the table with me, and I turned to my ex and I said, "What is that? Would you have eaten?" And the whole place was
Me
in
know you what you
laughter. So
say,
my
you
daughter
laugh it
said,
off.
eh?
You laugh after
Eh?
a little part, then me know you what you say.
No. So I'm saying when my daughter brought me the picture
Yeah.
of the male's organ, the private
Yeah.
organ to be signed, I was sitting at the table with my ex at the time. So I turned in sarcastically and said to my ex, "Boy, that would be a big slot." Like the
Oh,
picture.
oh, oh,
The whole place was in a riot. Because my eldest daughter kind of knew the patois. So my second daughter, who was 30 at that, stood to me and said, "Dad, what is a wood?" So I said, "You're looking at it." So she said, "Is that the terminology for it?" And I said, "Well, Jamaican talk." So I'm just saying, like, for me, the humor of it is that I was very transparent with my girls because, I mean, here in North America, they're enlightened to everything. They teach them everything. So it's not like I can go around circles. But the one thing I knew was that I knew my second daughter would have kids or would have a child before the eldest. Why? She was very smart, very articulate. She have a master's in the profession that she's in, but she was more the type of, the bright student where you see them move towards boys. Because when she was celebrating her 16th birthday, I remember a young man came to the house and she boldly said, "Daddy, is he allowed to cut the cake with me?" And I said, "Sure." So I knew from that time that, I see that little thing about her wherein she would swing that way. And then when she was in university, um, first 3 years, awesome, doing great, high marks, blah, blah, blah. The fourth year, she used to come home every other weekend. And then she hooked up with a dude where I'm like, so what, you're not going up this week? Oh, so and I are going out this weekend. So I said, oh, you know what, I'll backslide, I'll go back home. So she was boarding at the time at the university that she was in. So I brought her home. They gave her a large amount of credits to the other university that she attended here in Toronto. And, she just start climb up the ladder again. So as parents, we can identify, especially mothers, because the mother pointed out to
Yeah,
me, like one day the
mothers
mother said,
can.
oh, I think so and so and so, and I'm saying, we never think about that, but I was being naive, because I did see it, but, I'm the type of dad where, like, I would say, in all fairness, I think I spoiled my kids, especially my girls. I would allow them to do stuff. I remember once the eldest one said to me, Dad, you made a statement to me once by saying you give us enough rope to hang ourselves with. What do you mean by that? And I said, listen, sweetheart, I'm not going to walk behind you or watch you and, monitor you and stuff like that. Because if you're going to do stuff, you'll do it anyway. And the eldest one said to me, Dad, you don't have to worry about me. But the second one, trust me, I knew. I remember one time I dropped her at a party. There was this high schools. She wasn't in university then. She was like 17, and she asked me to take her to this party, rave thing that they had. And when she walked towards the car, she had a mini. And I said to her, sweetheart, you don't have tights under that? She said, oh, Dad, it's summer. I said, but that's too short. So she pulled it down in my presence. The moment I drop her at the place, I watch her kind of move out in such a way that the mini kind of roll up. So I identified that the way about her. But she was very good scholar, did very well academically, but I just knew it. And fast track, I remember when she said to me, after finishing university and before she had my granddaughter, I remember she sent me a picture. No, first she called me and said, Dad, I have something to send you. And I said, what do you have to send me? I said, I think I know what it is. And she said, what? So I said, you're pregnant. And she said, oh my God, Dad, how do you know? And I said, yeah, because I know you. So I started telling her things that I
How old she
observed
was at
about
the
her.
time?
Eh?
How old she was?
When she had my granddaughter, she
Yeah.
was 24. She had my granddaughter when she was 24.
Okay.
24, yeah, 24. Because my kids went to university early. She went to university at 18. Before she hit 18, they all did they're very, very good kids academically. They did very well. But and then my eldest son, he's totally different from the last one. And as I said, my last boy, I swear.
You not finished tell
and I
about
have
the
to be
pregnant
transparent.
part. You not finished tell about the pregnant part.
Yeah, no, I said to her that she's pregnant, and she said yes, and then she sent me the picture. And Bam Bam and friends, trust me, I was the happiest and still is the happiest dad in the world. I tell you, even when she came by me when she was pregnant, me I'll rub the tummy and I talk to the baby, and I say, I'm waiting on you. Because I remember when she was a baby, she basically was birthed in my hand, and and there was this connection that I just bonded with my girls even at birth. My first daughter with my ex, she was born in Jamaica, the first one, but when I was leaving her and the mom to migrate, I basically cried because I didn't even know at the time that I could have brought them with me. So when I reached Pearson Airport, I said, you could have bring the mom and the dad, but they didn't tell me that in Jamaica, right? Because I came as a landed immigrant. And they didn't take me long. I came 1990 and 93, they were here, so because I had to go through the process of getting her here and stuff like that. Plus I was working and doing other stuff, right? But at the end of the day, like my girls I would say I spoiled them. And I have to be honest. I remember they would ask me to take them to party downtown Toronto or Richmond. Dinner might know downtown Richmond where they have a lot of parties. And I would take my second daughter and her friends. And, I go back and pick them up. Because the way I see things is that you can't fight faith if they're going to have kids, if they're going to so-called get bad. I mean, you can't stop them. And I think it had to do with the way I was. Because, my promiscuity from 17 up to 27 was off the chart. I was just very, very promiscuous. So I used to say to myself that if I reach that stage in life, if I have sons, if I have daughters, I'm not going to act like I'm this saint that, oh, I never used to do stuff, because I was terrible. And I put terrible in black forms. And I remember a girl once run me away from her because of your crosses, and I laugh about it, and she started laughing because she had called me every day in the book. Because to me, it was like humor. I just was like that. And I see a lot of it in my last baby. He's in university, but he's dating a girl that complained to me all the time. She tell me that she see the other day and there was one girl leading on his left shoulder, one girl leading on his right shoulder, and I'm saying to her, but you guys are in your 20s and you're going through a phase. I'm not saying he's going to settle with you, but he's like that because he's a very friendly guy. And he laughs just like me. Nothing bothers him. You know, he's just like that. Because I said to him, son, I'm getting complaints, and he would say, oh, Dad, she's crazy. Don't worry about it. You know? But that's because sometimes you look at these things and you laugh. It's not that you, and I don't tell him to be like that. But it's just his personality. And we're born the same month too, only that he's the later part of the month. Mm-hmm. So sometimes as parents, yes, we do let our kids get away with stuff. But I was like borderline, I would say. My eldest son, he's more close to the mom, and he's more the type that I would say he's a mama's boy in the sense that he stick to his mom more, and like he would more listen to her with her way of thinking, because she's more, I would put it fairly and say she's more on think more of a religious way, as in serenity or celibacy and stuff like that. Wherein, I mean, it doesn't mean that because you're religious it means you're any better than anybody else, right? But that's just his thinking, that's just his way. I'm not around him to see, because he lives on his own, so I'm not around him to see what he does. But he and I don't have the type of talk that my baby and I have, because I still call him my baby. Because when I said, baby, my baby, how are you? He said, oh, your baby's fine, Dad. So me saying that to my son as a father, it makes me water up. It makes me melt, because I can have any conversation with him. I ask him about his lifestyle. I ask him about the people that this girl that he's seeing, because they're all university students. It's not like I'm saying in 3 years, 4 years time they're gonna marry and stuff like that. As parents, we have to deal with it, and that's just life.
Just life,
Of course, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
My eldest. I mean, as we say, always say, we listen, we don't judge. My eldest daughter, I thought she was a L. I mean, I don't want to say the word on YouTube for them to flag you, because I've never seen her buy a girl underwear. She always buy boxers, but she would buy, very short ones, or because she's skinny too. And one time I had a conversation with her. I said, sweetheart, are you L? And she says, no, Dad, but I just like guy stuff. And then I think back of my own sister, because I have only one sister and 6 brothers of us, right? And my sister did not hit puberty until she was 16. And I swear it was because 2 girls moved, close to us, and she became friends with them, and all of a sudden she just changed. But she wasn't a big girl. She was always small, my sister. Had her to, mature, as in the sense that having everything that the females should have, but she did not hit puberty. And those 2 girls came beside us. I remember one day we were bothering her to come and play with us and stuff, and she said no, she not coming, she not feeling well. So the curiosity in my little brother said, what wrong with you after we don't see you sick and stuff like that? And I caught on, because she and I were closer, because I followed her, and we were always, I used to question, I would say, but, I know girls and stuff, and cousins and stuff that, they have their cycle and stuff, oh, not going on for you, right? And then I learned during that time or later on that is because she was around all boys. But some girls, it's different with them. So her body just like sink when those 2 girls, came, and lived beside us, right? And she just became friends with them. And then when I look at my 2 girls, they started at age 11, both of them, So, sometimes we as parents, it's not like we guard our kids, but because we have been through that process, we've gone through that stage in our life where like, for example, like me, I never ever hide it, and I never will. I know the way I was as a teenager into my 20s and up. I know the way I was, so I would tell them, I would say, girls, protect yourself. You understand? I said, I'm saying, I used to say to them, try and finish university, finish high school, but it's not like you're not saying things can't happen. The assurance I got from them, they used to say to me that, no, we will make sure we finish university, or we do what we have to do. We won't disappoint you. But it was the eldest one who asked me if she was to get pregnant as a teenager, what would I have done, right? And I said, why you think I would kick you out? Because yes, so what I should have said also, I used to say to them, don't go breathe, So I told the second one said, what do you mean you breathe? So I was explaining to her, that's how Jamaicans talk. You understand? Because you grew up in an environment where you always, the various words where you use, you talk to your kids and stuff like that. But these kids are smart. They know what to do. You understand? I had this relationship with my daughters in such a way that they could come to me with anything. I remember when my second daughter was in high school after she left middle school and was in high school, she was like 14, and she came home one day and looked stressed and was just, crying. And I said, sweetheart, what's wrong? And she said she walked around the back of the school, and, there were kids there having oral, and I said, why was it shock and awe for you? And she said, yes, Dad, because we hear guys talking, blah, blah, blah. We didn't know this was going on. And this is why I said, like, sometimes people talk about teenage pregnancies, and, they would decry and belittle Jamaican kids and stuff like that. But let me tell you something, Papa. These kids in Databurg, I tell you, some of them, I think they're 10 times worse. They will not, get pregnant as teenagers, hardly ever. But the things they do, it's shocking, because my kids come home and tell me stuff all the time that they would see these things happening.
Yeah, one said that. Yes, not.
Come home and say,
Not comment married. Yes, not. Them most of them kids nowadays, them no want no baby. Nowadays, yeah, in this era here, they don't want no baby. Teenage pregnancy cut down. You know, see in Jamaica, they must say, the birth rate gone down. Yeah, the birth rate gone down.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Kids not getting pregnant young anymore.
One night, Bamba, I'd also like you and the ladies to discuss, well, I know most people are going to call in, but have a discussion about that one night, because tonight is, Tuesday night. I was just going to ask if you're still going to go, but sometimes these things are enlightening to talk about too, because I remember back in the day when I was living in Jamaica, I remember when my ex had my daughter, when I went, because I had Blue Cross, and unfortunately, when she started seeing signs to go to a hospital, she get called a taxi, and the taximan carry her KPH. And I'm telling you, I was very upset. The midwife wouldn't even let me see her, because I had Blue Cross, and I tell her just, as I said, see, everything here go to St. Joseph Hospital. That was on Oak Road, because I had Blue Cross, right? And when I went to the hospital, I was so upset. I couldn't see her, and then she told me that a doctor came in to help her. Remember, she's a first-time mom. The doctor came in to help her, and the nurse was so belligerent and just rude, and said to her, tell the doctor, if you help her, make sure you do a light on your own. And I'm not going to knock the nurses. It's not about knocking nurses, because, her mom is a nurse, and I work in healthcare for so many years. But I'm just saying, sometimes we experience things that cause us to think, as how people are treated. And even her being a first-time mom, I was the one who basically, had to take care of her through that process. You learn things over time, and this is what I'm saying. Now where I'm going is, when I went to the hospital, it was full. There weren't even beds. There weren't even enough beds for the birthing mothers. And now, I recently was watching.
Well, that are not new. That are going a long time, that's That's nothing new. A long time that are going this.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I recently saw a gentleman go to a hospital with his pregnant wife, and he was the only one that was there. And if we can all recall when, women were having kids, we go every clinic, one with a pregnant woman. They go to the hospital, one with a pregnant woman, ready to have babies and stuff. And and it's even global, It's even global because a few years ago in Italy, there was no birthing of kids for that entire day. And one can go and check the research. So it's happening globally because even in the US, they're talking about the same thing, as in, I think in certain groups, as in race, there's a diminishing of birthing. So, you oftentimes look at these things and you say, what is it that causes these things? But as, people are saying in the chat, and as one can identify, people are looking at their careers. People are looking at, can I afford it? People are looking at the responsibilities, if the father going to step up, or if, and as I said, I have a friend who works in baby and birthing. She's 50 and change, and she had no kids. And even though she worked in that area, she said, well, she used to see the things and, what some of the mothers go through and various things like that. It kind of just turned her off, So no matter what era we turn in, there's always something there that is like, it looks like an obstacle for some people, and then you look back at it and you say, boy, it shouldn't be the way they because of so and so and so. But at the end of the day, we're dealing with people, right? Mm-hmm. Because I always say, you look at a woman that have 8 or 10 kids and they're all V-birthing, right? No C-section. And I used to question, I said, boy, I tell you, a woman different, and they are different. And I was having a conversation one time while I was working in healthcare. One time I was talking to one of my co-workers, and she was saying that she was never worried about the V, right? Because I don't want to say anything on YouTube for them to flag you, but it's the cervix was her concern. Because she said once the cervix opens, she don't worry about anything else. And I'm like, that's very interesting. And she said, yes, it's a reality. She said, the V I'm not worried about because your body is structured and built that way for you to have that kid via the V, but then it comes back to, whatever it is or where it's supposed to be in some cases. Because I was hearing on a platform one time, a lady was saying she had twins and the husband kind of rejected her and was complaining about, not being able to feel comfortable during his operations, right? And someone had called into that room and said, you can do a surgery. And I have found out for a fact that, yes, people do that. You understand? So, in everywhere we turn, you wonder if someone is scared of doing something or because of this particular thing with the body, people are, afraid to do that. You understand? Because you have some cultures right now about that. After the women start having kids, they tend to want to go in other areas, right? And I'm sure people can read between the line what I mean.
Whoa.
They don't go that area no more, eh?
Whoa.
Yeah, and it is a known fact. It is a known fact. I actually know the culture. I've spoken to people in the culture because I wanted to question.
More ask. When I finish to that, more ask Natalie something.
Yes, eh?
When I finish to that part, the more ask Natalie, not something.
Go ahead.
No, when I finish. More ask Nat. You still there, Nat?
No, we just have conversation with you.
No, more not say him some. Well, not say him something was small, long time.
Hey, that's not the best, That's something.
So Nat, when we want to ask upon the topic here.
That's not the best.
More ask upon the topic here. Do you treat your son different from a boy?
You want me to come off now? Bam, I'll come off.
Eh? No, me ask Nat something.
Come off. Yeah.
Nat, you treat your son different from your daughter? What kind of different treatment you give your daughter from your son? Come on, you're the one on a little thing there now. In some cases. So like what? You think there? You're afraid of that? You're afraid. You know? I want to ask everybody this if the same thing them go through, like with their son. Him have a little girlfriend, him young. You just tell them say use condom and whatever, whatever, and happy say him have one girl, but if for your daughter, you fret, right? You don't want no baby. None of that. The
That's
part
what
is
calling if you want.
the part that's scary if you want. You can't call in or not. The part that's
That's
scary.
what calling. If not, no one, nobody know our voice put something in your mouth. one candy, one little
If
small
that could have
curd
worked, me that
cheese
tell
or
Daenerys that long time, she'd have still shy. The fact that she attack and she realized that all some people like here, she was still shy. Me don't know how comes that she not see we.
something.
No, sir. I have the same conversation with both. Oh, you have the same conversation with both. Yeah, but you know,
Yeah, awesome, mom. That awesome. That's how it
that
should be.
makes
I
sense
do that
because
too.
me always I say, the boys them. Because sometimes, you know, I remember this lady, you know, a 11-year-old son, you know,
Mm.
a ball film liquor suck me, you know. Crater!
Mm.
A ball film liquor suck me, you know. And she came go a doctor. She don't know what. When she came go a doctor, the doctor said to him, say, is he sexually active? So she was like, no. And then she said, no, me don't know. No, me don't know, doctor. The little boy have a STD. The one way start with gun. Yeah.
Yeah, the 11-year-old. Wow.
11-year-old.
11-year-old.
So sometimes we have a little son them. And we say, yes, our little girlfriend, you in your head nothing say. Abstinence makes sense where him is concerned. You understand? And for a little boy, most of the time, a dogo. And some dirty pum pum. And not clean pum pum. Yeah. And some dirty pums.
Big up creator.
And some dirty pums. Mm-hmm. Okay, my level.
You know, Bam Bam.
When I say I tell them to
Yeah.
make sure to cover it for protection wise. And don't play with people's girl child. And don't take no bad treatment either. Fair enough. Fair enough. But we have to teach our boys them. Just as how we teach our girls. But we have to still bias and put on some extra protection for the girl because of the baby part.
But
Yeah.
you know, Bam Bam, in all fairness though, teenage pregnancy has been with us since creation. And I was telling someone, I remember one time I was doing
Exactly. So, one set the dirty. One set there. One set the
doing a
dirty.
university.
DP. DP, one set. Exactly not. So. We can't stop them. Not at all. We can't stop them. So what we have to do? Talk to them. And just, you know, it's just like when I come to the DP. Just like when time in the prison.
Man, talk, man, it's okay.
Just like in the prison. Them did get the mail them. You did hear about it? I'm DP. In a Jamaican prison, them did get the mail them. Condom, yeah. Some people are say, they might encourage them to do this, that, and not encourage people to, them brain too small, them not think wide. And not encourage them. You cannot stop people from do things sometimes, so you have to just help them to use the necessary precaution. You understand? That's all you have to do. You can't stop them. Or the man stop them. You can't stop them. So them just just have to tell themselves to protect themselves. That's all. Same thing with the kids. You understand?
You know, Bam Bam, that's why I'm saying how you talk about people and the way they are. Let's look at this, for example. For example, a man or a woman will say to you, you know, I haven't been in an intimate relationship, as in sex, for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 4 years. And people would say, boy, them can't believe that. Why can't you believe that? Look here. If females and male are incarcerated, now they're in a situation where they have no choice. Not all men are going to say, go swing with a guy. They'll rather remain in that celibate state for the period of time. If they get 10 years, 12 years, and it all
Ask what
depends.
again,
Because
Greta?
go ahead.
No, Greta say ask again.
Yeah.
May I say
In the
ask what
criminal
again?
justice system, if you get, say you're arrested on a Monday, and you don't face trial till 1 year time, and you're still incarcerated, they look at the time that you spent and even the days that you spend in jail/prison, they're numbered night and day. So if you get 20 years, you might do 10, you might even do less as it relates to your behavior in prison, the things that you do and stuff like that. So if you decide to remain celibate, you understand, and you do 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you weren't doing anything with anyone. You come out and you go on with your life. But this is why sometimes I say people don't understand, because I remember, Bamba, when I was 11, and I was in Jamaica. So that's the first time I saw a video. When I was in primary school at the time, and they show a video about STDs and stuff like that. And I was 11 at the time, and I'm a child of I remember the exact year it was too. You understand? 1973. I never forget it. Little before we went off school for the summer. You understand? And I was 11 years old. There was no shock and awe for me. You understand? Because I mean, you're in primary school, you're around your friends, we use washroom. We used to play stucky with the girls, and sometimes, as a young man or even you could go in a school, girls sit down inappropriately. I remember me, when I was primary school, me have one little friend where she always, assure me, and herself. You understand what I say? I show one of or something, and I back in class with it. So,
Jesus
as we were
Christ.
all young too. And somebody said,
How young were you?
One of the things that it's been happening from long time.
Greta say. Greta
Greta.
asks what question. Greta says why when women no believe? Why women no believe when men say them single? For some reason women no believe that for true, not Greta. I don't know why.
Yeah, because hey, listen. I after my divorce, I stayed celibate for years and years and years, and to this day I don't kiss and tell. So whether I'm doing anything, that's just me, my style. You understand? And I'm still single. I'm still single, and the way I am and the way I move, I would never disclose, because there's just this thing about
You
me
can't
here.
talk
I
about him
don't
still single.
discuss
No, you love talk
my
about you still single,
intimate
son.
side to me. I'll run
Eh?
my jokes
Sir?
and do things. But
Sir?
but may I say this?
Sir,
The what?
you love talk about you still single, so you want me to say
No,
you're now
No, but bam, why would I? No, but listen. Why tell lie for yourself?
no,
Listen,
me just I say.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah. Well, single I mean say you're now hook still.
Being single, being single, you're single. You're single. You understand? Because every night basically almost every night I'm here in the live. You want to tell me, say if I even one time you leave here one somebody I say hi.
No, me never say you're not single.
Hi, Dinnery.
Me never say you're not single.
We live in a real
Copy nice.
world, man.
Me not dey on live every night. If you mic say hi, chat.
Go ahead.
Me dey on live every night. If you mic I say hi, chat. Mike, I pay a dumb sign, Mike, make to me.
You are a content
Pay
creator,
dumb sign.
and you have declared yourself as a married woman.
Okay.
You're a married woman. So that is a big difference. What I'm saying, if a man or a woman say they're single, there's no reason to doubt them. One decides to remain single because you just want to be like that. You rather stay like that. You understand? Because remember what you need to
Creator say
understand.
him joke
It's
less.
not everyone
Woman less and walk
What's
less.
that?
The creator comment me I read about him joke less. Woman less and walk less.
Everyone handle relationships different, Bam, and sometimes you need to understand that some people decide to stay single and happy compared to the bickering, the arguing, the same repetitive thing over and over and over and over. And if eventually you meet a person that the person don't have to be 100%, bam bam, to what you're expecting. But as individuals, in all fairness, we have to
Yeah.
live in expectations. You understand? When a woman respects her spouse, she calls him like her hobby and her baby
With the
and
nuts
her
in there.
hun. Eh?
No, create me an answer. You
Yeah.
ask me for
When a
peanut butter
woman
that.
refers to her spouse, or a man refers to his spouse as his baby and his hun and his or her hobby, there's an underlying thing there, that there is a connection. You understand? Because a lot of people, unfortunately, Bam Bam, are living miserable lives. They're unhappy, but they might be in a situation where they tell themselves, you know what, just work with the program. And we see it happen from me. I grew up in Jamaica. I used to see it. A prime example, I remember my dad used to date a lady that I loved dearly. And he had somebody else, and me see, the lady one day fling stone upon him business. She was so upset. And there's a lady that was very, like, she was just an awesome person, lovable, and, treat us. She had kids. She treat us like we were her own kids. And the lady that my dad met eventually and started dating, she had no child, no children. And she was just one terrible human being. And she dead and gone, and we never
Because she never have nobody for love.
funeral or none, because she was just a very mean person.
She never have nobody
You
for love
understand?
and care for.
Eh?
She didn't have anyone to love and care for, so she become bitter. She vex. And it upset her, and she just become bitter.
You see, let me tell you, Mom, I analyze a lot of things throughout life, and I look at things in a broad spectrum. You understand? And I say to myself, you know what? You never ever rule out
Good
certain
night,
things in
Fitzroy.
life. You never. Go ahead. Rather you talk than me. So it's
No,
good
me
that
that's
you
a good
talk and
night,
no one over talk, because I
Fitzroy.
don't want anybody get upset with me. Go ahead.
I was saying good night to somebody just came on the live.
Oh, okay. So I'm saying sometimes you have to analyze things and look at it in a broad way. How many ladies here have been through multiple relationships? How many women here have 3 kids, 3 different dads? Were they bad women? Absolutely not. They don't have to be bad women, but for example, your first child was not really even a hold on take away. Say a thief one like a piece, did young, there was nothing crazy about it. It wasn't exciting, but things happen. Okay, you get pregnant, your girlfriend, if you say you're pregnant as a teenager, I was a teenager, I mean 17, 18, 19, you're still teen. But that friend there said to you, say, don't carry. That friend there said to you, say, no, carry your picnic. You might shy, you might feel exhausted, frustrated, you go to your parents. You tell your mom, even as bad as it is, mom might be more conservative and say, well, go talk to your father. You go to your father say, me can't stop you, things happen, but we have to work it out. Here we go, both parents are okay with it, right? And they help you with your child, you understand? That guy that you were pregnant for, not together no more, baby young, you young, him young, you move on. You meet another man, eventually you say, okay, this man look like he's okay. Next thing you know, you're with him, he's a cheater. You find out, say, when you pregnant, you have another baby mother. You find out, say, oh, you have 2 baby mother. You find same this, you find same that. You say, you know what, me not staying up. Me a cat, me not going on a dog fight. You leave that relationship. Now you have 2 kids, 2 different father. Here you go, you meet a third man. And this man sweep you off your feet. He's kind, he's generous, he's this, he's that. But then big issues. It can be family. It can be that, maybe in sausage now, proper in another way there. Because I've heard females that say, and they don't come on and in bed thing, not go on film there. So in naval, sometimes she have to wonder why go on because he's just dead. So, whatever excuse it might be.
Yeah, we know that
understand?
part there.
So,
In just now work.
yeah,
Done,
people
dead.
go through various stages of their life. So it's not like you as a woman, you're bad, but you have had so many experiences throughout your lifetime. So what I'm saying is, Bam Bam, is that oftentimes you end up being single. And you will go single for years. Okay, now and again, just feel now you look away. Some people go for them roads. Some people I know here, I
Feel like me
know
that papa
personally,
popcorn.
and what I'm telling you is facts. I know places, even in the 90s, while since I've been here, that people would just go out and have fun, and then meet people, and then just go have fun. I mean, they're protecting themselves. They make sure condom is used, and it's still happening up to this day. Some women just rather have fun, some whether it be their rose or whatever, and you hear it on different platforms all the time. Wherein some women just say to themselves, say, you know what, me just can't live without a man. Why they say that? Maybe they just like comfort. They like the companionship. They want to have somebody that they can talk to. Go ahead.
Let me say, yeah, agreeing with you, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they might just want companionship. They want to know somebody they can talk to. They want to know that now and again them can go out. Because I have friends, would call me sometimes and, them say, where are the DP? Make we go so and so. And I go. Like my brethren have a little place. Lots of times, people that I know, they're there, they go and they would chat and we have a drink and stuff like that. Because different people like different things. So, as I said, sometimes people here say, oh, that person here, for 6 years, or 5 years, or 7 years, then they buy themselves people's. Why is it a surprise to you? To each his own. Some people are not transparent. Some people you have to use. Because let me tell you, I'm the type of person that I've said it over and over. I don't kiss and tell. So whether me I do me not talk, if me not do me attack, and if me I do me not talk, so it don't make no difference. That is just me. Because I don't have to let anyone know my business.
The
way I live, I just like my life the way it is. I
don't
want
to
find nobody say they're tired of me. I don't want nobody say they're fed up of me. I don't want nobody have excuses to find and stuff like that. You understand? We're at the end of the day.
May I read greater thing there. Bamba me Africa adapt DP as my father, since me not have none. As I have so many questions about life that I want a fatherly perspective on. Trust me, DP would be glad to school
Absolutely.
School him, but don't school him to be promiscuous,
You can send on me number to create a man.
Don't school him to be promiscuous. Please. Yeah, DP.
Eh?
Please don't school him to be promiscuous.
No. Bam, you must remember.
Blows and skirt, creator say me want to be that too. Creator say me want to be that too.
Bam, let me tell you.
No, sir. Creator say I want to be promiscuous.
You know what Bam, you know what I observe? You know what I observe throughout my years with females? They like transparency and honesty. Even if they think that, boy, you mean terribly, man, at least you're being honest with them. I learned that throughout my years, going through my little stage that I was going through in my life. And I'm not ashamed to say this, that I grew up without a mother. My mom bonded with me when I was 16.
Feel like Papa
I bonded with me. Eh?
No, I create that. I say go for my peanut butter. I tell him I feel like Papa Popcorn.
I bonded with my mom when I was 16 years old. And even though I bonded with her, I was seeing her, but when I hit a certain stage in my life, I decided that, you know what? When I was 18, me, I will live on my own. You understand? And the experiences that I had over the years, as I said, growing up with a single father, raising us, I used to see things. My dad was, I wouldn't say he was overly promiscuous, but, I knew he dated different women. He was a businessman and he dated different people. Now, I would say the things that I saw, in my environment and how I see my dad, I kind of adapted a little of that, but I went through an experimental phase in my life. I went through that phase where I said, you know what, I'm going out there, even though I'm working, and I'm going to search for myself. I remember when I was like 20, 21, 22, the man them used to send me at the condom man. Like if I even walk into a clinic or wherever I went, I would have like, sometimes my locker have all 200, 300 condoms, and I just issue them to my brethren them all the time. And I'm proud to say I've never been in a situation where I've ever had, to run to a doctor, say, blood, me have chlamydia or trichomonas or any of them something there, because I always protected myself. Because people hear about STDs, but there are so many of them out there, you understand? And even as you get older and you realize, you say to yourself, you know what? I'm gonna tone it down. But there are a lot of females, Babam, that they refuse to state their experiences, because a lot of females have been around the block too. They might not deal with it like, someone who has the oldest profession in the world, which is prostitution, which is the oldest profession. But they have been through multiple men, you understand? But the thing is, most females will just not talk about it. So if you talk about your promiscuity, you will hear some females say, why? You mean why, man? But they also were basically on that same level too, but they're not going to say I used to do it. You understand? Because they're not brave enough to say so. You understand? How many people, you hear say, why, they would cross out someone because they say, oh, that person is with that person, man or woman, vice versa. And yet them tell us, just like, one thing say one sin, but it's all sin. So me I say, as you get older in life, as you go through this experimental phase, you learn. And the things that you learn, it makes you a better person. It makes you more cautious. It gives you an understanding of what the whole entire world is like. So if you're getting into something and it doesn't look safe and secure, you do not get involved in it, because there is always red flags that you can observe from any situation. And females are smart like that. Not that men aren't, but females are the quickest ones to, if they start to go into a situation or they make an attempt, they see red flags and they'll back away. Some do take the chance and say, you know what, and see if it will work. That I met here, I've met more than one, quite a few that when I was back in Jamaica, I used to see them at New Kingston at night. And I remember I went to a party one time, and one of them that I know, she came and she gave me a hug, right? Because back at one time in the 80s, sometimes, people would take them up off the street, and I'm sure people here don't know where I'm coming from with that, right? And you keep them overnight, or you put them in a yard room to sit down, and then you let them out in the morning, And let me tell you, I met one year at a party, and she told me I should run coming out. She called me Mr. whatever my last name is, because that's how she addressed me, because she knew me from then. And I was looking across the hall where the party was, and I see this guy standing, and he looked very upset. He must scrub him face, he must act like, he would have want to come over and, drag her away from him seeing her hug me. And she whispered in my ears. No, I said to her, who is that guy? And she said, oh, the little idiot on me there with. You hear what she said? The little idiot on me there with him. Fool, you see? I'm jealous and stupid like her. And then she said to me, Mr. So-and-so, no matter what happened, don't make nobody know, say, you know me from Jamaica and where me used to do. And if him ever know what me used to do, he would have dropped down and dead. Me say, you don't have to worry about that. You understand? And if you see her, very clean, very nicely dressed, and our thing turn up, and van her, like them say looks is deceiving. But what I'm saying is this: I have gone through life and carried this thing about me. He that hath no sin cast the first stone. Never judge a man by his patchy clothes. You understand? Because even though she have that lifestyle, I have that thing about him.
Seriously, you get married, you get the day. Mr. Nola, my popcorn dash when I pick them up and name them. Sorry, I'm not throw away.
Even swear say in swear say him have Mary Queen of Scots. But that's what I'm saying. No matter, and I've said this over and over, no matter what we do, no matter what we do as men, especially certain things as it regarding even the topic, I used to say to my daughters, in certain things, go and have a conversation with your mom, because no one knows it better, even if the daughters stick to you, which my daughters did, but I still said to them a lot of times, go and have that conversation with your mom. Because there are some things as a father that I'm sure you might be uncomfortable with me to talk about, But if you go to your mom, she will say to you, listen, when I was a teenager, I used to have this thing happen to me, or feel this way, or this and that. And, you know, even if you know the daughters come back to you. But some things I would definitely send them to have a conversation with your mom about it.
Why me never have no, me did have mother alone, but we never go through that phase. They like, you know, if you want somebody to talk to, and you never know that feel. I know that go. No know about that. I know not about that, my love. Me have to just,
that is hard, you know, Bam.
me have to just do that by my own, my love. Because
listen,
my mother is young, so my mother when she was 16.
See?
I don't know about that. I've never had a father. My father is sick. He's sick and me don't know nothing where I go on. Me don't know, it never, me never have that situation, my love.
I remember when my eldest son, I remember
See, secret of him, no know it feel neither.
He was a little embarrassed, you know, and he said, Dad, I'm so ashamed, right? I'm so ashamed of what happened to you. It was about
trying not to create
13. It was about 13 at the time.
That's crazy. Don't it, Creator? You a Creator say?
I see his comment. His comment. I don't know how it feels either, and I try not to
you know,
create that safe space.
Elaborate on the comment them
that's
too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it feel. Creator. I don't know it feel. I don't know about the father. Well, I don't go every father go and left me. You understand? And I go and left me just to get sick when me I want. But me still not get the mother stop me there. You understand? Because all my life growing up, my mother never want nobody know so she have me. Who no know? She never want them to know. You understand? Yeah, because you know me grow big and she young.
Yes.
You know the problem there. So, yeah. So me go through that part there.
And it's hard. It must have been hard on you. It must have been hard because my son, my eldest son, when he was 13, and we'd just make it simple, he had a wet dream. And how I knew, he got up the morning and, you know, you see the bulge in his underwear, but his underwear was wet. And he came to me. That's the type of relationship that I have with my kids. That he came to me and he said, Dad, you know, I you know, so and so, and he's telling me, and I said, you know, wet dream is a natural thing. It happened to me too when I was your age. And even as you older in life, as men, you might go to your bed and dream, say, yeah, I have sex with a girl, and you eventually as dinner make sure about wine now you sleep.
I know that make me that when me I laugh at me, remember one time I dream it. I mean say me I buying it up. I say I did man and dinner say after me just done bust a wine I come me buying it up. Oh man, I remember as you said that, you know, you said that night there. I say me there on the toilet seat and me a pee I laugh. Me going to the bed back say, what are you? I said, Jesus Christ, somebody said something on the live, make me a dead.
Yes, of course. Because, hey,
yes, sir. They never say, you're buying it up. They never say, after you bust a wine, after you done wine.
You laugh about how excited you found it, eh?
They never say, after me done wine, me buying it up.
Having a good time.
No, sir. Me never buying it up in that. Hey, because wet dream, I see, Jesus, I make wet dream nicer. Eh?
Boys, it's exciting.
Wet dream, you know, is a must you go came, you know. If you are doing it in real life, I don't come.
It's a natural thing for boys. Our teenage boys are with we get place already.
No
and
problem.
One leap away, we had bunk beds.
Right, it
I miss
the Creator say if I'm alone never have wet dream. You pray in your sleep. I went to your sleep, you still a pray. I wear mind the pad. The blackboard and chalk.
Creator. Well, you know what? I won't rule it out.
They said
Creator.
then did
That's
she
anything
try
and
to
have to
keep you
people,
hidden
but
from
I'm
birth
saying Creator.
or
When
as
I
you grew older? Wait, let me answer then
with
already. Yeah,
we don't want
not
to
from
talk, you know,
birth,
because to me, I
but
hear you, but we don't want to respond.
as
Slowly.
me
Go ahead.
understand, as me understand life, then Harry, remember, you know, as a young little girl, my mother used to send me go away. I mean, send me go away, send me go to work. My mother was a teacher, yes, she was a secretary of a primary school first, then she was teacher's college, and she a teacher, but my mother always told my mother bad dressmaker. I mean, dressmaker, and so now I have hand for sew clothes, but so she always send me go with clothes, go to button hole, she always send me, go buy, send me all the way a Slap Road, go buy a grotto for her. She send me go a Gem Road to our cousin, we make slippers, we go collect slippers. I say one night, me I drive past with a go on family 9 night, and I say, my family remember when you used to send me down in that dark lane there? So it stay, and I saw it stay from it birth. You used to send me go down there so, to your cousin doctor for collect your slippers. In there so, you know, them little place. I mean, I said to myself, you know, me looking back to it, I say as a young little girl, my mother used to send me go all over the place. Morning, she not afraid, you know, nobody do me nothing. Me don't know, is me one day she never scared. She never scared. And when me have kids, me will never ever do that to my kids. My kids them don't know what it's like to play on the street. The kids them don't know what it's like to hang out pan no corner and nothing. Them not do them something there. I know that's them adult it worse because them not used to it. You understand? I'm so protective of my kids and I did not have that protection. Me used to me no know if my mother got our parents teachers meeting, them little something there. Me we get in a trouble at school. One time I got high school. Me we just see somebody on the road and just call them and just beg them for go for me. Me do that, yeah. Me do that, me beg one lady go in and beg lady talk for me like a guardian. She don't know me from nowhere, but me was just brave enough to do it and she just do it. Me was brave enough to ask her and she just do it. Me never have that something then, none at all. It's like me grow myself.
Wow.
It's like me grow
And
myself.
you see those things Bamba makes you, it molds you, you know. It molds you and makes you into a better person. And believe it or not, the psychological effect of the experience that you had throughout your years, it makes you think differently, act differently, and even a lot of things that you would do in your daily life, it's because of the experiences that you have gone through and what you have had. But you must also remember that things that your parent or our parents used to allow us to do as, you know, as little kids growing up, it's a totally different environment now, because I remember even as a kid, I remember little girls and little boys, you could see a bunch of men play domino or play ludi or so, and the mothers or fathers used to leave them little daughter and son and them gone with all half hour and 45 minutes and nobody not touch them inappropriately, nobody not, you know, them make sure they are secure, they cover them, they guard them.
When me
Not
can't
like
understand.
now.
Me just can't understand. Remember one time I was 16-year-old. I'm telling this already, I'm a head boss. I'm going to the doctor. You know, 15, my mother for carry me go doctor. She sent me alone. The doctor and him son them nearly raped me. Because the man stripped me naked for a bus head. I see him son coming in the room, and two sons coming in the room, I don't know for what. It's like a divine intervention take place, like God just said, this shall not happen to this young girl. I see them come back out of the room. Because I always look extremely young for my age, you know. So when me at 15, I go favor like me at 12. You understand? I go favor like me at 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at 12. I see me as getting a problem with people and sitting. One boy fight me up and you know police in bad man for go to court. And me alone go court as a young little girl. Me not reach 18, you know, me alone for go to court. Man never dead there. And she never be, I don't like so she busy, she have work, she have go work. She still could have go. You understand? Still could have take the game. Me alone go. I will never do that to my kids. You know, some people make the thing, the cycle go on like a curse. But no, no, up to to the day, me still protect my kids. Me see my daughter in a relationship already and it now go right, she call me. She did over the guy like she did, you know them, you know sometimes it's like they live at their yard but they live at the guy because they spend so much time at their man yard. You understand? Well, me drop everything when me I do and jump in my car and go for my pitney. And go straight in there and ask no question. She call me. Worse, me never did like him from long time. She call me. You understand? So me I go for her. Me no busy she how much year old. She could have 100. She call me. You understand? Yeah.
You see, it goes right back, bam, to what I said. There are things that even if, as a father that you bond with your daughters, but you rather at times they go to their mom with certain discussions or certain things. Because let me tell you, just as how you talk about your daughter, I remember when my eldest daughter started to work. She used to work at a gas station while in high school, and there was a West Indian store she used to work at part-time too, right? And I remember at the time she was 18. I think she was 19 or something like that, and she used to work part-time now at the West Indian store. I remember she was dating this
one second there, one second there.
Here's the thing about it, Bamba. I have never met, believe it or not, any of the guys that my daughters were dating. The boldest one, the second one, when she got pregnant, that was the first time she introduced me to the father of my granddaughter, and they're still together, right? So my eldest daughter was dating this barber guy, but I know the guy, but the guy don't know me. And then I used to take my sons to the barber shop because there was like 8 barbers inside there. My daughter went ahead and got a part-time job at a West Indian store across from the barber shop. In her head, she had watched him, which to me, I said to her, not a smart move. That's very unwise because I know how these guys are. One day actually said to her, see that guy, they build tally. That they just building a tally because one day I see him driving and every time I see him with different girls, right? So I had a little sit down with her and her mom and I said to her, sweetheart, be very careful because that guy is very promiscuous. I was like that. I said, when your mom knew me, she knew multiple people that was coming around me. She used to come to my place, see people there, and your mom was a teenager at the time. She was a teenager. I'm not going to deny that, right? Because I'm 9 years older than your mom. So it's not like I wasn't seeing people or dated a lot of people before that. I said, understand yourself. She said, oh, Dad, you're always critical of every situation. And I said, no, I'm being transparent and I'm being real with you. You understand? But I wouldn't tell her that I see him with multiple girls all the time. So,
let me answer Denary. Let me answer Denary something. So Denary said, you say, did she know, or did you
hide those incidences from her so as not to post?
With the doctor? I don't know. I never remember me to tell her. I remember because remember saying no. Remember say with that relationship there. How me grow with that with her. It's not like when you innocent and not do nothing wrong. You're afraid to say something. Because another relationship there I keep. You understand? Another relationship there I keep. So I don't think me did say nothing. Because you just feel like, you know, you might get in trouble, as I say, which you shouldn't. But I don't remember if I did say that. I don't remember. I did say to her. I don't remember because, come on. You couldn't carry me to a doctor. I don't remember my friend. Court. Petticoat. No parents. Just.
And at the time you didn't reach out for legal aid or anything like that, Bamba? When you had to go to court?
I don't know what to do. Now I was a kid.
So how did that play out for the court?
Yeah, the court, a petticoat, you know. A petticoat. So, you know, then just turn up, they ask the question, whatever, and I never know. I never know what it come out there because I don't know. I not just step on my own. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know. I just don't know. I go eye
The
doctor.
reason why
I
the
go
reason
eye
why
doctor.
I asking is because I know the court system
You don't
is
know.
at the time
It was
that
petty
relates to certain
court.
things because if you have no representative, they'll assign someone to you, you know.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't
Mm.
remember. I remember I go. I forgot eye doctor. I can't see. Good. And the liquor I get in my eye. And she said me go one of the best. Dr. Mango Chin. Dr. Mango Chin is one of the best in the island. You know, not cheap, nothing. You know, she have Blue Cross and whatever. Health insurance. And I go. But just still I say, the doctor said under my eye. Because me I said to myself, say, them time they said to yourself, so when you wear eyeglass, you're a nerd, you don't want to wear eyeglass. So me did make that decision there. But now nobody for question it.
Mm.
You see what I say? I had no one to
Mm-hmm.
question it. So I just made that decision there to myself. And like she go find out. She just work with what I tell her. You see what I say? I just let me go through. Mm-hmm.
You know, Mama, even when you talk about the things that you have experienced, I say to people all the time, you know, that's why people should be more subtle and
We
more
have other family
understanding
members who stood in her
about
step
eh?
maternity. Mm-mm. No, I've no big because more than one big cousin when me did have. That just she used to do there. Like when my mother got a teacher's college and she used to come tell me say for bed and go to school. And if me not want bed, me not bed. I just make the water run from the shower curtain and wash my foot.
That's rough.
I'm late for school like every single day. Every single day. Me not under no control, me not under no rule. You understand? My grandmother did about, can't go around mama. I'm just there. Yeah. I change school. Change school. When time I left primary school, I get myself in a school, Mother stamp a gate and send me inside. We found. You come in with me. Remember one time I did younger, I said I did actually, I never look so bad. I just said I want the modeling. I always want the modeling, And so I go up and where place name? The Pan Phoenix Avenue, Arden Avenue, never forget. With a man name, Paul's, can go Paul's. And she said me inside, I stay outside. The people, they're going to take me serious. Me a young girl, are they going to take me serious? You understand? Them now take me serious. I don't know the right question them for ask and what to say. I don't know. I remember when I go to high school, I always wanted to go to Andrews High School. She knows somebody, a batchmate who teach there. I say, she tell me to write the letter to the lady. All you have to do is just go talk to the woman for me and whatever, make sure I give her my report and that. Or me write the letter to the lady. Tell me now. How that look? You might take me serious? Sometimes I remember the things and I say, shit. It makes sense.
And would you believe, Bam Bam, you're not the only one who, may have gone through, who went through that situation, Because trust me, I had friends when I was going high school in Jamaica that, their situation was, trust me, you wouldn't believe how rough it was. Even prominent name brand school. I know a few people that admitted in like the top schools that the parents, one girl that I know, one time her mom ever showed up at the school that she attended, and is at one of the top schools, and quite a few people I know like that. Quite a few. So, yes, the environment that you live in, yes, and with your mom situation and stuff, but trust me, you'll be surprised to know it happening in the upper echelon of society too, but you
Not
just don't
one set the
hear
Derby,
about
not.
it until
The whole high school them not based off a Christian, but she teach a lot at school. She teach at a lot of different school. Different school. But I'm gonna say, I don't know, you have to define Christian school. What you call Christian school? Because I don't know. Because every school not based off of Christianity, but government school she teach. Government school.
I wouldn't say all schools are based on Christianity, You have direct, distinct schools that like neighbor and Catholic Anglican schools that, some schools are just independent, so that's why she asked you, that's why that's
Then I try remember some schools she teach, because she teach a lot of different school, but we don't call it Christian school.
What's not basically is going at the foundation. The foundation, because for example, I attended St. Richard's.
If she the teach us Christian school, probably me that it should have better.
Morning time, them have mass. Everybody have to go into the church and them have mass, and then you go to your classroom, right? And I mean, some schools
I know about
you have other schools.
I think
Okay.
did you have
like
other strict one on the teachers where you have to marry to have kids? Well, teachers college where she go, a Christian teachers college, where you not to have kids unless you're married. She did still pull through. She said, "Me her sister." She did get through.
You see,
I know you are
what Dina
resilient
said to you,
and trod through life like a G despite those circumstances. Those experiences have molded you into a woman you are now. When me say you are me and you are going to give you one big hug. When me see you, me are going to give you one big hug.
When she see you, she'll give you one big hug.
One big
Which I said the same thing to you earlier. If the experience molded you and make you into the person that you are.
Yeah, me try to don't do none of that to my kids then. And the saddest thing, the saddest thing? Guess what the saddest thing? I remember one time my girls was going like in 6th grade at prep school. I'm telling there. I say, alright then. I go teach you to take the bus. So when I do me drive, them go a thing there. Because drive them go a thing there, go to the terminus. Because I know I live near, just down the road. I drive them go there. Make them take the 16. At the 16, make them take a special bus. I think at the 16, I remember. I know set a pass right at them school gate. And I tell the driver, say, just, make them cross the road or whatever. Till the driver end up know them. Them just pick them up. When them come from school, them know what time. Ask the driver what time the bus pass. But just go and teach them. Little running. And remember, she raised L. She raised L. I make it look like my wicked to the pit of them. Like me I do wickedness. But my twin them, I see one of them, the tall one, the big one who have my grandson. No problem. She never scared. She would do the thing. Whatever. The other one was very dependent on her. Yeah, she was the one I had to send to Michael to get her assessed also. Yeah. And the other one, she just like a soldier, she can do the thing then. But just did that do it just for a little month. Just make them understand things, Just did that do it for understand. Them never that do it forever. I just 1 month, them did that do it for me. Just did do it. I don't know, I just feel like me did want teach them. And whatever. That's all. I should make one big L out of it. Tell them father. My father never have no problem with it. We have no problem.
Bam Bam, it's 12:14 where I am. I don't know how long you're going till, and I don't want to be
Can't go
reminded, and I
11:30.
know you will say it's, so it's 11:14 for you,
No,
12:14
can't go.
for
I'm
me.
tell you when time I'm
Right?
ready, car. Remember some of the...
Eh?
No, me talk when I'm ready, car. Remember some of the thing there.
Yes, we cut
We
off.
did have to, we end up start 9:16, then we'll have to start over.
I'm listening to you, Bamba, and you know, let me tell you something, and I go back again and I say this. People do not understand that when people have gone through experiences like you have or any other person, sometimes people need to take a step back. And if you're going through things in your life and you were to express it, and I notice that with people nowadays, they hardly have any compassion. And it goes right back sometimes to even the behavior of some people. Sometimes you see even on social media. They might have a way or a lifestyle or they behave a certain way. You don't know what they've been through in their life. Just like relationships.
Exactly, because...
So everything is like, go ahead.
Because guess what, Derby? Some people don't understand. You hear some people say, boy, their mother and their father never grow, then they give them away. And
yes,
you end up live with your mother and your father or either parent. And come like and give a same way.
yes.
You understand?
Absolutely.
It's just that you have one bed to sleep in, you know?
Yeah.
And you live somewhere. It's just that you have one bed to sleep in and you live somewhere.
Of course. I'm not ashamed to say I didn't have a good relationship with my dad. I did not. I mean, my dad lived just up the street from me. I don't pick up my phone often and call him, and I'm telling you, and there's no, we listen, we don't judge. When I was a teenager, when I was like 14, I remember I rubbed my hand in his head, and the man was so aggressive, him run me, take your note of me, man. You understand? And I realized that when my dad was young, his father was my grandfather, his dad was hardly ever there. So I made a promise to myself that if I was to have kids, I would create every special bond and every bond I could possibly make with my kids. And my eldest son, his first day at school that we would call primary school, even at kindergarten, I sat in my son's classroom with him because he was so attached to me. The eldest one was very attached to me when he was small, because I used to mostly sit him while his mom was, in school or doing stuff, right? Because she went back to school for 4 years and then university for another 4 years, right? And when she's gone, I have him every day till I'm ready to go to work. And she would get home by 2, 3 o'clock, and I would leave out because where I work wasn't far. So, when I remember when he was to go to kindergarten, compared to my daughter who started out early, I had to sit with him in class. He was crying and he was just upset and stuff like that, because I tell myself I would never put myself in a situation where I don't bond with my kids. And sometimes it's disheartening when people go through things in their life, people go through situations, and people will be quick to put them down. You don't know what they've been through. Eh?
Derby, you remember when we have a high school and we have a barbecue. I was going to sing at the barbecue. I was going to perform. I never have nobody there to cheer me on. Me alone go. All my mother do put on clothes and send me. I remember say barbecue starting at the evening and take over in at night, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I live at Arnett Garden. My school in a crossroad way, yes. But me alone I walk up on the road, I say shit, when time I remember them something there. Nobody, me not tell her like, me didn't even remember going, come here and say, she not come. Come with me now. Come cheer me on now. You understand what I say? She not come. Me never remember my mother for nothing. Nothing. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. Nothing. But, and if you say it to her, she say, to find an excuse. And then something so bother me enough for a while, for years.
But it has to bother you, Bam, because
I see,
human.
but
That's
the
why
fact say,
I go silent.
but you know
When
what
I
I
hear you
do?
about to talk, I go silent because people do not understand the psychological effect or the psychological toll that it takes on you. That's why I go back again and say, you see, but sometimes the way you see people behave on social media, sometimes you hear some people, even with vloggers, things that they do, sometimes, yes, people are quick to be critical of it. You understand?
Yeah.
But you don't know what people have been through in their life.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
This
Here,
is
20
why
times
I
people say this about stuff. Your mother, no matter what she do, yes, you know, go out of character and, this or whatever, even though some people do it, but everybody go through them pain in a different way. You understand? Everybody go through them pain in a different way and react to things in different ways. You understand? Depends on what you go through. My one might be psychological, somebody one might be physical, somebody one, you understand? Verbally, everybody one different and them react to it different. And what people have to do.
And as
Instead
answer
of
the question, do you hold any resentment towards her even though you are in a better space with yourself now? You're in a better space with her now.
I never ever hold a resentment for that, for me growing up. It just used to, like, always, can't talk about it no more, yeah, man. I get emotional. Change the subject.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We can change it. But as I said before, we're gonna change it. And yeah, But as I said, you see, we all been there. Well, I wouldn't say we all. A lot of us have been there. I mean, I have friends, grown adults now, that they tell me about themselves that when they were teenagers and they went through that change in their body, the mother was very, very belligerent. Say they must say make man not touch them and them if them a do this and them a do that, because it's like they're just so this they have no sense and sensibility towards the situation, no feelings, no nothing. I mean, as I said before, I never bonded with my dad that much, and I grew with my dad. You understand? As I said, as I blended with my mom as a 16-year-old, and my mom and I are cool now, we're the best friends and stuff like that. And things happen to us all, and the experiences that you as an individual have throughout your life, it molds you and it makes you into a better person. I tried everything that I possibly could to go live on my own. So when I was 18, I was living by myself. I was living on my own, because regardless of what parents have and the situation that you're in, I told myself I want to go live on my own and live my life, and I don't have to be around. In all truth and honesty, I didn't want to be around my dad. I don't. His ways is what I have a problem with. And I was having this discussion in all truth and honesty with my mom a few days ago. You understand? Because my dad is not the type of person that I would be in a situation if I'm stressed out or I'm feeling down and out, that I would go have a conversation with and say, that can I lean my head on your shoulder and talk to you about so and so and so. Because I know when I get off the phone, the business is going to be all over the place. I know that. That's the type of person that he is. So, as I said, we've all been, I would say we have all been there.
There's a dirty remote light.
Or your dad, it might be a sister or a brother. Go ahead, Bamba.
We say remote light.
Very, very, I don't tell him anything. When I, so, everyone have a story. I remember he was dating a lady.
My story is very sad enough, basically, My story is very sad enough, because when me got answer, then area, to tell her which part of the situation I used to have a resentment.
So try to change the situation and cheer it up a bit.
So me just, I get emotional, because, so me I'm easily easy. My emotion
Yeah,
come
Bam
easy,
Bam,
you know.
don't go back there. Please, you just said don't go back there.
Let me
Just
just run
relax
it.
and listen. Just don't go back there. She asks you a legitimate question and she understands what you're going through. So what I'm saying to you now, I'm changing the cycle. So I'm telling you what happened one time to
No
me.
man,
So when I was
no, maybe
about,
answer. No, wait there.
Bam Bam, listen me now.
Wait now, another that
Man,
man. May I say something to them every now? You know, ask me nothing wrong, you never out of check now, nothing,
no, she didn't ask you.
Yeah, it's just
No, Bam Bam, you never
remembering.
asked her anything
You know,
wrong. I am trying to
remembering,
tell
yeah.
you that I want to change the cycle because you said you were getting
Yeah, just
emotional and
remembering.
you didn't want that. And that's fine. She did the right thing, but it's okay if you be emotional because you see, there we go back to what I'm saying. You are only human. And she understands. So what I'm saying to you is, my dad used to date a lady that I really, really liked. I consider her a real mother, like real mother because she had kids. And one day, it was Christmas time. So my dad was sending me and my brother home. And I wanted to stay with this lady and her kids. So the house key, I hid it under a stone. My brother was with me, so I hide the key under the stone and tell my dad that I lost the key. You understand? So he was irate, upset, and carrying on, and he decided that he was gonna lay down a beating on me because him said him not believe so me lost the key, right? Let me finish tell you what happened. So my brother now, he was the one where he's the type of guy, the brother that followed me. My dad tell him to go for the belt, he would go for the belt. If something happened and my dad asked him, he'd be the first to snitch, as we would say, snitch.
Yeah.
So my dad was carrying on and I would not declare where the key was because I keep saying I lost the key. So my dad drew off the belt and said to him, so and so, what happened to the key? And my brother said, oh, him hide it under a stone because he didn't want to go work because he wanted to stay with me so and so and so. So me still get a beating on top of it. But it's okay. I accepted it because this is how much I love that lady. So it goes back to what I'm saying is that, yes, we had it. We had it as kids. I remember kids used to sit at our window for watch TV or do whatever. You understand? But at the end of the day is, I'm saying that it happens in all walks of life. We have all been through that place, been through that time, been through that situation. You understand? So, Bambam, let me tell you, I've said this to you before. You have a day life and you have a night life. Our night life is different. Over here, we listen and we don't judge. You understand? We're not talking about the T and they're talking about the C and the MC and this and that and that. No. We're dealing with life and its reality. We're going through a learning process. Dear Bam, dear, I guarantee you, if there's 50 or 40 people in the background, they can attest to the fact and they might say to you, know, Bam, I have been through similar situations as you did. I've been through similar situations as DP did. I've been through this and I've been through that. I've experienced this. There are many, many, many ladies like you who have had to do things on their own. You understand? They've had to struggle through life. They've had to do things that sometimes you have to wonder. I told you once on your life, I had a friend that she was going through a situation and she came to me and she attended a prominent high school. And I told her the route to take because she said talking to her mom was like talking to a brick wall. Because you see, some things are cultural, Bamba. Cultural. Prime example. I was seeing something the other day where someone was showing the difference between, and it's just, even if it's metaphor for some people, it's a reality. A white kid with a white parent and a black kid with black parents or a black mom. So the white kid, temper tantrum, carrying on, and mom is like, oh, John, don't do that, behave yourself, stop doing that. The black mom feeding the daughter carrying on, and she just open her eye wide and twist her mouth 2 times, and it's a big difference. You understand? And then there's a comical side to it, where some white kids in our car that sing Jamaican song about, you know, one arm, boom, 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 boom to one man, and so as somebody say, you can't know, say it's a Jamaican nanny. Some things, Bam Bam, are cultural. Some things are the way you were grown. Some of us have aggressive parents, and their parents were aggressive, and the grandparents' parents were aggressive. So it's generational. You understand? Some of us grew up with single moms. Some of us grew up with single dads. Like I grew up with a single dad. And later on in my years, as I said, the nightlife is different. I asked my mom, I said, what happened? Why you and my dad split? And she explained to me. And I understood. You understand? Because she was being transparent. And I've been like that since my mom and I bonded, where I said, Mom, I need to know the truth. You understand? So we are not judge and jury. And I used to say to people all the time, when I was working and situations would happen, and I've even commented on individuals that post things. I said, listen, no one is judge, jury, and executioner. And I said, you see it happen every day. I've just seen numerous people that things were falsified against them and they ended up in prison. It's just like someone would tell a lie on you. How many ladies that are in the background or on the live or just casually listening, where people accuse them, say them they're with their man, when not no go so, and they're just friends. They might be your co-worker. They might be someone that they're used to. Because it's life. That's life. That's the way life is. People, Bam, at times, don't even need to know the truth. They just jump with what they see. You understand? And this is why I tell myself, I will go through life and live it and love it and leave everything when it comes to people and what they have gone through or their personality to them themselves. Because let me tell you, it's not everything you're going to ask God to solve for you, you know. And I'm not an atheist. There are things that you can resolve yourself. And I've said to people over time, and I will never stop saying it, do not send yourself to jail or prison for something that you did not do. And if a policeman say you have weed in your vehicle and you never know weed, get a lawyer and defend yourself and find in every way you possibly can to declare your innocence. There is nothing wrong with you going through things in your life because life experiences makes you a better person. I have said to people before, and I've said all the time, not everyone can be rehabilitated. But you know where the rehabilitation process comes from? Your innocence. Because if you send an innocent man to prison and you put that individual through a rehabilitation process, he has already gone through his rehabilitation before he entered prison because he's an innocent man. We see it happening today. A lot of people have been falsely accused, lied upon. Bam, let me tell you something, friends. The amount of lie people tell from me throughout my lifetime, if I was to tally it, I don't know what I would do with myself. You understand? One of the biggest heartbreak I ever had, I was 10 years old, and my dad was dating a lady, and the lady said she see me after 3 missed call school. And I said to my dad, Dad, just go to the school, verify with the teacher that I was in school. You know when my dad look at me and tell me, say, he not gonna wake up you man and tell no lie for me.
That's so like my mother.
My dad said, he not gonna wake up the woman and tell no lie for me. And let me tell you, Bamba, my beautiful friends on the live and on the back, we never liked that woman from that day. You know me say to you, and it's not like it wasn't hate, it was just, I despised her. You understand? And she never had a kid for my dad. And she was always just that nasty, mean person. What you gonna do? The good thing about it is that she didn't live with my dad, but he was dating her. I couldn't stand her. Because, let me tell you, Bamba, you see sometimes, you see one lie, that one big lie, psychologically it affects you, and it affects you throughout your lifetime. And this is why I say it, and I will not take it back. If you lie on me without proof, if you tell a lie on me, you will no longer be my friend, and I will not take it back. There is no forgiveness there. Because let me tell you something, there are people that lie, and the lie sounds to them like truth. Go ahead.
DP, let me just say this one thing, I'm not elaborate on it. My mom tell the biggest lie on me. That's why when Jennifer asked me the question for the resentment part, I couldn't even put to it because I don't want to remember it. Why?
Yeah. See, it is hard when people tell lie on you. I remember one time.
Who tell the lie on you too? You know? Who tell the lie on you too? You know how it is for somebody who's supposed to love and protect you tell lie on you?
Of course, absolutely. Absolutely. You just think about it. Okay. I've said this before, and I don't know if Creator have ever heard me say it. And I'm sure as an educator, Creator can attest to this. If Creator have a class with 20 students, there's always one, two, or three that he knows that if he says, class, I'm going to the washroom, Mary, Martha, and John, keep the class in check till I get back. With confidence, he knows that the class will be okay till he gets back. But there's always that one or two belligerent student, that troublemaker, that one that don't care when do that one student give the most trouble. If he says something there, they have something to say. There's always that one and two. Case in point, okay. Take for example, you having this live right now, and you had 50 people, have 50, 60, 70, or 1,000 people, and we're having a conversation that is edifying, that is well centered on reasoning. You know, say you have one or people too smart in there, say, Lord, you can't chat, you can't top chat now. Not looking at the fact that what we're talking about is something that is edifying and helpful to others. And at the same time, they may have gone through the same situation that they've gone through. Another case in point is like when one talks about infidelity and talk about jacket, which you have had that topic. If you notice, if you were to talk about infidelity and a woman on jacket, you have a few will try to shut you down if they had the opportunity to, because they don't want to hear it.
The woman them not like talk about that, we're
That's
guilty,
how
my love.
society is. Eh?
The woman them not like talk about that, who guilty.
Exactly. So it is that you deal with. I used to do youth service, Bam Bam. And the greatest prime minister in the history of Jamaica, the Right Honorable Michael Manley. Michael Manley, I used to even teach, I was teaching Jamal at 15. And when Mr. Manley was in power at the time, he said, listen, those of you who are in high schools and you have knowledge and you can do things. I used to teach at Parental Secondary. I used to teach at Dunrobin. And Jose Marti in Spanish Town, I did youth service there. Jose Marti in Spanish Town, right at the roundabout, so at Twickenham Park. You understand? You share the knowledge. And I majored in history. I have a distinction in history. You understand? So at the end of the day, when you share knowledge, when you help others, teach them, show them reality, some people will take it and some people won't. And again, after call create him again, he can tell you that most of the time, the ones that don't learn are the ones that give the most trouble in school, because they don't want to learn. So they'll do everything to distract the class. They'll do whatever they can to make sure others pay attention to them, because they want to be the center of attention. And I've experienced that. You understand? I had a guy that I was teaching at Jose Marti when I was doing youth service. And Bam Bam, I told him one day, I was young man at the time, I was 17, and I said, this is you. I said, this is you. I guarantee you're going to end up in prison. You know why? He used to touch the girls inappropriately all the time. And the girls used to complain about it. And I said, you see, you're in a prison. Bam Bam, you see, when he left Jose Marti, he ended up at the prison down the road at Spanish Town for rape. Grape. You say grape.
They put a
Yeah,
curse
because
on
we
it.
want red flag you. So grape, yeah. So I'm just saying this
They
to
put
say
a
that
curse on it.
I saw it on him, because what? He was just a little bastard. It's sad to say, but it's the truth. Because the girls always complain about him, touching them certain way, making certain remarks, and just doing things that they were just disgusted about. At one time, I caught him with a glass on his shoes, standing behind a girl, and I took him to the principal. His family were adamant to the fact that he must stay like that. All when the principal said, listen, he had this glass. They go through everything possible for him don't get expelled. You understand? Because his family had, because at the time when Jose Marti just came in and it was like a boarding school. I don't know if they still do it now, but you boarded there. You understand? So I'm just telling you that there will always be those individuals. You understand? That give trouble, that just create a scene. They don't want to hear anything. And it happens even in your relationships or even with your children. You have 4 kids, and sometimes you as a mom will say, boy, him stay just like him father, or she stay just like her mother, or the one that stay just like this and just like that. Because what? You see the traits, you see the things about them that, little things that you're saying. Sometimes you some female say, no, say I couldn't from a picnic. How many of us have heard that? Because you, the mother, you might be a quiet person, you're easygoing, you're fear how you do things, and your spouse, your husband slash your boyfriend slash whoever it may be, is just a totally different person when it comes to the kids. And we have all at one point or another, have been through that guilt trip. We might have been lenient with certain situations, because I can say that has happened to me. Because my last son was 21, I'm very, very lenient with him. You understand?
Good
And I'm
night,
not saying I'm going to
Camille.
get away with murder, but he talks to me, and I warn him and say so and so and so, but he has his little ways, and I guide him as a father. You understand? So there's nothing wrong, Baba, when we've all experienced these things in our lives and we have to go through it. When I was 8 years old, I was standing with a beer box in front of the gas stove to cook for me and my brother. Because my dad was always working, he's not home. And sometimes I think about it. You strike the match, the cylinder is open, you strike the match, you turn the gas on and light the stove. Sometimes when me older on in life, me used to say to myself, me light stove all at them age, suppose something did happen. Just like Obama, you could reflect on these things. It's not that the danger was there, but the presence of God was overshadowing you. He was protecting you. Because your late night walks and the things that you've been through, and you went by yourself to all these places, there was a protector there for you. There was an angel, as a writer said, that was guiding you, that was guarding you, that kept you. You understand? I
Yeah,
been
man,
through
creator, for
things
true,
that
creator.
sometimes
Wolipa, no, creator say a Wolipa, danger pitney site. A true,
yes. Good night,
yeah.
Camille. Good night, Camille.
Wolipa danger was site.
I don't know what time Bamba wrapping up, but Bamba, let me tell you, I had an experience, and I think I shared it with you, but
Me just
don't
I
go
got till 12 and done. 12 o'clock I'm
too
out.
deep with it under.
Hear me DP, me just I got till 12 and done.
Yeah, I had an experience, friends, one time when when I was young. So I was working, and I went to my bed one night, and I had a very, very disgusting vision, very terrible vision about something happening to me. And I woke up in the morning, friends, and we talk about people, and we talk about how we feel. This is where I'm going back and friends. And I woke up in the morning, and I was just feeling totally depressed. I was feeling stressed. I just didn't like what I dreamt. So I went to work, and I was talking to my boss, and I said, boss, you know what? I don't feel well. I just don't like the way I feel. The way I felt, the way I feel. And he said to me, you know what, DP, you're always there, you're always helpful. If somebody not coming to work, you're willing to put in extra hours, and, if I even forgot to do, desk job and blah, 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 go on the road little, go home. And the person that took my assignment was unalived. And I lived with what I should have said to friends is that the same way that what I dreamt, I was telling my boss how the dream was, and the same way I dreamt it is how it was played out. And that happened when I was 22 years old. And to this day, being 62 years of age, it still sits in my head.
Sleep good.
No? It still sits. Yes, all right, Mama. Creator, big up. Good night, Camille. Have a good night. Yeah, it still sits in my head, Bam Bam. In my 62nd year that I am, and it still sits with me. And I used to share it with my kids, and I still share it with friends. And why I share it with the family and the life, to just let you know this. You see, sometimes in life, there are things that happen to you that you would say to yourself, boy, why this happened to me? But people are going through worse. Sometimes people go through things that you would never imagine. today I was talking to someone and I was telling them, I heard someone was saying in the era I get where people, if people are buy all one swipe a toothpaste and then toothbrush for $20 and $30
But
something.
a long
Because
time
what?
sitting that, DP.
Yeah, because it's like the man where eat the banana, go up in a tree, say more, unalive himself. And when him throw down the skin, somebody take the skin and eat it. That's why you see me, friends, and bam bam, me, I go kill you with love, Me, I go kill you and alive you with love. Because I go love you so. But you see, if I give you the love and you don't accept the love, I'll take the love somewhere else. And I will stand by that until I leave God's earth. Things will hurt you, Things will hurt you. And you will check yourself and you say, you know what? I will not let history repeat itself. Friends, never let history repeat itself. If someone hurts you, you don't let them hurt you again. But you have to, what? Draw up your sleeve and be careful next time, because you know which soldiers survive during battle? The ones that are cautious. The ones that are very brave, they hardly ever survive. Most times, not that they don't survive, but when you're cautious, even if you're a coward, you think outside the box. And this is something that I learned through life. People will hurt you. People will do things to you, but you do not let history repeat itself. And this is the mistake that a lot of people make. If someone lie on me, I will never give them the opportunity to lie on me again. Because I'm not going to get close to you for you to lie on me again. You might say what you want outside the scope of things, but you're not going to be my friend to lie on me again. You understand? And it comes right back on when it comes to you being a social media entrepreneur, because you're an entrepreneur. You've been around the block a long time. You've seen the good and bad in people. But one thing I admire about you, as someone that is a host, you blog, you do stuff, you can take it when it comes at you. Because the things that you laugh about, where I always find amusing with you, and I'll tell you to your face, you said she'd deal with my nastiness, or she'd cuss out my nastiness, because you're built for that, you're structured for that. And I tell people all the time, if you're not built for something, you can't do it. Because he that hath no sin cast the first stone. If you cannot be told that you're wrong, then you can't be strong. And you can't be wrong and strong at the same time. And some people just think that they cannot be corrected. You have people that will make accusations against you that you ask yourself the question, what the hell is going on? They only see the
One
surface.
sec, then find the scripture if you're still here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They only see the surface. They only see the surface. But that's all they see. They don't try to go below that and see, let me tell you something. Let me see if I can explore. Let me see if there's something there that we miss. No. I guarantee you right now.
You see that DP?
Deuteronomy, yes, I see it. Deuteronomy, hold on. Deuteronomy 6.
1 to 9, then 17 to 24.
Let me write it down.
So you can go ahead when you're done. So what you say? So we can done by 12.
No man, you 13 minutes, so you can 6.
No, that means you can start it now, so we can done.
Then 17 to 25. But yeah, as I say, Bam Bam, as we go through this life, we learn and we make our mistakes. There are lots of things that I regret about in my life. Just like everybody else, like we all do. We make decisions. We find ourselves interacting with people that sometimes we say to ourselves, why did I make this happen to me? Why didn't I listen? You understand? But again, we're not perfect. We're not perfect, and these are little things that when one can identify, you understand, when one can identify and correct these things and tell yourself, say, you know what, I'm going to make this situation be a foundation for me. You're trying to see how you make things work. You understand? Because we're not perfect, man. We're not perfect. the experiences that we have, it either make you stronger or it makes you weaker. But
Simple as that, stronger or weaker. Let me say as simple as that, stronger or weaker.
Yeah, and for me personally, my experiences has made me a stronger person. I remember Bam Bam.
Me no want you remember too much too far, you know, Derby, because I want.
No, because I say I remember back in the times when
You
I
read
used
the
to sit
scripture,
down
that's
and
what
think
you
why
done
people are
12.
so evil. You know, if it's said that I'm not too far back. But because I say, come here, look on the time.
No, you don't understand what me I say. Me no mean say if you talk till 12. Me want you read the scripture and pray. So it done by 12.
It got done by 12. No, because I said, me remember back when we used to face with things happened to me, and we used to wonder if people really think that way or rest a certain way, why them no could understand what I was going through. And that's all I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. But nothing more than
But then people
really,
not understand, yeah, man. Me no know.
But anyway, I'm gonna read Deuteronomy 6 from verse 1 to 9 and then 17 to 25. So I'll read hence. Deuteronomy 6. Now these are the commandments, the statutes and the judgment which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it. That thou mightest fear the Lord thy God, keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son and thy son's sons, and all the days of thy life, and thy days, that thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, that he may increase mightily, as the Lord God of thy fathers has promised thee in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk to them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes, 9 and ended. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. I now go to verse 17, and I'll read hence. Verse 17 to 25. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God, and his testimonies and his statutes, which he has commanded thee. And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Lord, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to cast out all thine enemies from before thee, as the Lord had spoken. And when thy son asks thee in time to come, saying, What mean the testimonies, and the statutes, and the judgments, which the Lord our God hath commanded you? Then thou shalt say unto thy son, We were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. And the Lord shewed signs and wonders great and sore upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household, before our eyes. And he brought us from thence, that he might bring us in, to give us the land which he sware unto our fathers. And the Lord commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Lord our God, for our good always, that he might preserve us alive, as in this day. 25 and ended. And it shall be our righteousness, if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as he hath commanded us. And we give thanks to the reading of the word. May the grace of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, with full fellowship of the Holy Spirit, the Comforter, rest, remain, and abide with us all. And Deanery, thanks again for the reading of the word. And as we're about to close, a quick prayer. We're going to pray in regarding the lesson that is brought before us. Eternal God and our Father, this time as we come before Thee, we ask You to bless the word spoken, the word that is read, the word that is given out unto our fellow men. At this time, dear God, we thank You for taking us out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. We thank you, Lord, to take us at a place and put us at a place where we can give you thanks for your grace and favor. So, Lord, now that you have taken us out of the land of Egypt and has brought us over the Red Sea and has brought us onto dry land, we ask, Lord, as we dwell in the desert, that we do not sin before thee, that we do not do anything that is displeasing before thy presence, but, Lord God, that you will be our great provider. Touch the rock and send forth water to water the land. Let us not die of thirst, but send your manna also to feed us when we are in need, when we are hungry. Send your ravens, my God, to bring us whatever we need to eat, because we know thou art our God. Provide for us when we are in need. Place on us, my God, the gift, that gift of righteousness, that gift of love, that gift of peace, that gift of humility, that when we go before thy presence, when we come before you, Lord, we will rejoice in the beauty of your holiness. Lord, remember each and every one tonight on the live. Remember the host of the program. Remember those in the back. We give thanks, my God, because we know your word is power. And because your word is power, as you said, we are to follow your commandment, obey your statutes, the rules that you laid before us, that they will help us to be better persons or better individuals from time to time. We ask you to blot out our transgressions and cast out our sins, that whenever we transgress before thee, whenever we do anything that is not pleasing of thee, your blessing and your grace will be favored upon us. Send your angels continually to guide us, that we do not dash our foot against a stone. Send the pillar of cloud to lead us by day, and the pillar of fire by night, because we need guidance and direction as we travel along our journey. Father, your grace and your favor and your blessings we seek, while we humbly wait at thy feet, through Jesus Christ our Lord and Savior. Amen and amen. Have a wonderful night, friends. May the grace of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, with the full fellowship of the Holy Spirit, the Comforter, rest, remain, and abide with you all. Once again, Deanery, thank you for the word. We appreciate the word of God, and we know as we continue from time to time, it will be a foundation that we can build our house on it. Because remember, the word of God says, we cannot build our house on the sand, but we have to have solid foundation. And we thank God from time to time, each and every night as we come at the closing of the life, that the word of God is read, which is strength, which is power, which is grace, and which is favor for each and every one. And I'm asking friends in the back, from time to time as you come, always remember that we are not perfect. We come on the live from time to time. There are different subjects we talk about. There are different titles. There are different things we joke and we talk to each other. But when it comes to the word of God, we are solemn with the word. Again, may God bless you. May God bless your children. May God keep you on the path that you are, Creator. May God continue to guide you through, your academic years and what you are doing in the education system. I pray that God will give you the strength and He will give you the zeal that as you handle your classrooms from time to time, your children that you're grooming, that you're educating, will be blessed under your guidance. And all others on the live and that are not on the live but are in the back, I pray that God will guide you the same, that He will bless you. Nuts, may God direct your steps, keep you in the position that you're in, the career that you're pursuing. May it be successful. Again, also, Winifred Brackett, who did the surgery on her 2 eyes, we ask the Lord, wherever she's at this time, that you will continue to bless her and heal her, that she recover in the time appointed. Have a wonderful night, friends. God bless you all. And we leave asking the Lord for His blessing and His grace and His favor. We are overwhelmed with the blessing from God, because we know the power and the might and the majesty cometh from Him. And we must declare that the Lord our God will strengthen us, He will guide us, and He will provide for us. And whatsoever we seek, whatever we need, whatever our desires are, ask God to grant it. And don't ask for it with just your lips. Ask for it from the heart. Because he says he looks and he knows the heart of each and every one. So put your trust and put your faith in him and seek what you desire. Knock and you know the door will be open because he's an all hearing and all seeing God. God bless you all, friends. Have a wonderful night. And the writer says, when we asunder part, it gives us inward pain, but we hope to be joined in heart and hope to meet again. So as we live from day to day, we hope that we will meet each other through this conversation, through this source, through social media. We're reaching out to each other and we're giving each and every one the strength that we would desire for ourselves. Have a wonderful night. It's always a pleasure. Sleep well, stay safe, and if you have to travel and if you're at work, stay safe. God bless you all. God bless you, Bam Bam.
God
Have
bless
a
you
good
too,
night.
my darling. Always a pleasure. You might. Oh, my phone is plug on. Okay. You know, some phone is plug on. I wonder my battery. My phone is charged. Yes. Bless up yourself. Have yourself a great night, people. Have yourself a great night, and it was a wonderful, interesting conversation. Yeah. You know, when we have a topic, you know, it lead from one thing to the next. But yeah. And I am encouraging you guys to buy membership. A membership in name, don't it dinner? Or subscription. Which one? You know what I mean? A membership, yeah. You know, so we can have, you know, like we have these deep conversation and maybe we want to share, you know, and I want to share with you guys, you know, my experience, my childhood experience, you know, a little deeper, your membership. So, you know, we can have these conversations, you know, if I have a 10 hour, if I have a 10 hour membership, yeah, so we can have, you know, this conversation privately, yeah. So I encourage you to buy a membership. It's just what, $2.99 or $3.99, something like that. All right. So bless up on yourself, people in the back. Bless up on yourself. Yeah. And thank you guys for engaging. All right. Like up the live, and you'll be out. Okay. Peace out.